Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, My So-Called Healthy Life. So I'm gonna do a video that's kind of like in between what I usually do on here. Like I do either meditations or weight loss stuff, but I was asked to make a video, and so I'm gonna do it. I think it would have been helpful for me, take my shoes off. I think it would have been helpful to me had I seen it before I started this weight loss journey. So the video that I was asked to make is tricks to becoming like vegetarian. It is no surprise. There are whole communities of vegetarian and vegan people, raw foods people on the internet and on YouTube. You can go find their blogs, their websites, their YouTube channels. There's tons of them. I don't know anything. I'm no expert. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything near these people. All I can share with you are my experiences over the past almost 60 days. And the 3 years before that, or the 3 years that I was a vegetarian previous in my life. So I think the first question you have to ask, and I think that this is important, because I think it will have a lot to do with the choices that you make and how you go forward and like how vital it is to you on a daily basis. I think the question is, are you doing it for animal rights and like kind of a political issue? Are you doing it out of your, I guess it could be three issues, your love of animals, or are you doing it for health reasons, or a combination of all three? And like for me, it's very much a combination of all three. You know, there were a lot of propaganda videos that I had watched out there. You know, there were a lot of things of my feelings towards animals that I was like, I can't continue to do what I'm doing. That being said, I lose sight of that really quickly. So just for me, if that were the only reason I was doing this, I think that there would be times that I could talk myself into eating meat. Does that make sense? If I was really, really craving it. And I will be honest with you, I have craved meat a lot in the last 60 days. And more in the last 2 weeks than I have recently. And a lot of people tell me, you know, well, you're not getting enough protein or you're not getting enough iron. I don't think that's true. Like, I've really made sure that I'm getting a lot of cross vitamins that I would get, you know, previously. And I was also eating a lot of fast food before. So I do think it's like more of a craving for fast food. So if you're new to my channel and you're watching this video and you are an expert vegetarian or vegan, thank you for coming. Please do not judge me based. This is just my experience for the last 2 months. So I very much did it. I would say 80% for health reasons and 20% for my love for animals. And, you know, when I started doing it, the reason I did it was because, number one, I had done it previously and been very successful at it and felt much better. I lost a lot of weight. It was easy for me to keep it off. There were, at that time, it was this, we're talking 10, 15 years ago, it was a lot more difficult as far as like going out to eat and the choices that they had. But I knew today that it would be very easy for me to go out to eat. My husband and I go out to eat a lot. We go out to, you know, events and go out to eat with other couples and things like that. And so I needed to do some kind of diet that was realistic for me to go out and continue to do that and not just have to shelter myself at home. So for that reason, like being a vegetarian was really, really helpful for me. I also, at the same time, stopped drinking soda and only exclusively drank water. I did that for my first 40 days, and then I have had a soda here and there, a diet soda, which is not great. It's horrible for you, and I am 100% water all the way. But I am also becoming a little bit more relaxed in my weight loss journey as I go forward and allowing myself to have some of those things that I miss. So if I want to have a Diet Pepsi, I have a Diet Pepsi and I don't beat myself up for it. But at first, you know, I like just cold turkey got rid of all the stuff in the house that was going to be any kind of temptation for not being a vegetarian. But I also, at the same time, because I love to eat, I had to get very, very excited about the different options out there. And I remember before, when I was a vegetarian, you know, I thought, oh, it's going to be just like tofu salad, and it's going to be gross, and just raw vegetables. And that is so not what being a vegetarian is about, you know? And I don't even cook. And I mean, there are so many options. I typically on a daily basis, you know, get like couscous or some kind of pasta salad, which is, the pasta salads are not super healthy. But I get healthier versions of it, like the Spring Valley one I really like. Protein bars, things like that. You know, I mean, if you're not doing it to do weight loss, the ideas are just, there's tons. I mean, there's apple butter, there's almond butter, there's peanut butter, there's honey. You can mix with granola and macadamia nut milk, or, you know, like almond milk or soy milk. There's so many different options for like breakfast, right? basically anything out there that you would want to find that has meat in it, there is a meat alternative to now. They're typically very, very expensive, but I mean, you know, if you're really wanting to have like a sausage patty or something, because I've like recently really been like missing sausage patties. I don't know why. But back in the day, like I did a lot of the, what's the green one? Why can't I think of it? But it's the meat supply, you know, the meat supplement one, not supplement, but alternative. Boca burgers, I love the Boca burgers, things like that. And I did a lot of that at first, and that really helped me because I'm craving a Boca burger right now. But like at first it was really hard for me because I was really hungry for things like cheeseburgers because I had been eating so many cheeseburgers. Today, I don't feel like that. You know, like I will eat a little bit of like a half a container of couscous, you know, or some kind of like certain salad like that that's grain-based, you know, and then I will have like a lot of vegetables, very little fruit. I did a lot of fruit at first, but I felt that like, the sugar was bloating me and it didn't make me feel better. Now I typically eat, I would say, let's split this up. Okay, so I probably eat in a day a fifth of vegetables, maybe a fifth of fruits. No, scratch that. A fifth of grains, a fifth of fruits, and then I would say, you know, 3/5 vegetables. And on top of that, just all the water. And there's so many options. I go to places like Fresh Time, but also like just regular grocery stores like Kroger and things like that have so many different options today. I typically go to the organic section and I just kind of look around. It's been really fun trying to figure out what I can eat. And so that would be one of the tricks is when you go to the grocery store, well, first of all, don't go when you're hungry. But when you go to the grocery store, see it as kind of like this adventure and kind of plan your meals out a couple days in advance, you know? There are a lot of different things out there now like Healthy Choice and Lean Cuisine and all these places have specifically vegetarian meals if you want to eat that way. I do it every once in a while, but I try to steer clear of that. Because clean eating has also been much better for me as well. And that means, you know, eating just like raw, fresh fruits and vegetables, which has been great. And I've noticed a huge difference. I've noticed a huge difference in my skin from the water and from being a vegetarian. And I also have tons of energy. I sleep much better. One of the things I've talked about on here is that I had horrible heartburn. That has gone away completely in 55 days. Years ago, I did the all juicing. I did it for like 2 months. I mean, I lost weight like nobody's business, you guys. And but it was a lot of work. It was very expensive to make the juices every day and things like that. So I still drink pressed juices every once in a while. I'm kind of a label. Not a label whore as far as in like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, but like a label whore as far as like I'll sit there and read an entire label and see what's on it and there. And for me, I'm looking at low cal, high protein, and the carbs and stuff like that I don't really care about, but the sugars I try to stay low on. So I don't know. I think number one, to figure out why you are being you want to be a vegetarian. Number two, make a short-term commitment to it. When I first did it, I made a commitment of 30 days. I'm coming up on 60 days. I really didn't think, I thought I would do 30 days and be like, okay, I did it, right? And now if I blow it, like I'm like, okay, well, I'll just start over the next day. It's like, well, I ate meat once, and it wouldn't even be a starting over to me today. It would be like, well, I ate meat, but I'm still a vegetarian. I know a lot of people are coming for me on that one, but like I don't even have the intention to do that. Like when I go to restaurants now, I always just look at like veggie burgers and whatever. The other thing that's been a trick is asking waiters and waitresses what options are vegetarian. They typically know which ones are the best, and I always go with what they say. I always go, and I'm never disappointed. I think you have to treat yourself every once in a while, even as a vegetarian, and let's just be for real, okay? There are a lot of overweight vegetarians that don't eat meat, but they eat a lot of crap, you know? The other thing I have learned is talk to other vegetarians, because there are things that you will learn that you didn't know. Like you just assume because it doesn't have meat in it, it's vegetarian. For example, I think it was like my 3rd or 4th day, like I ate this spinach artichoke dip, and I got really sick to my stomach, and all of these people were like, oh, didn't you know that Parmesan cheese that's in spinach artichoke dip, it is made in, I think, Italy, and they have different, like they have to make it with like some kind of, I don't know, but anyway, Parmesan cheese is not vegetarian. I didn't know that. I'm sure there is vegetarian Parmesan cheese out there, but I did not, that was not what I was eating. It has made me very, very conscious that when I buy products, and typically Whole Food stores have more of these than other places, that it will have a green V on it for being a vegetarian. Peace. And so it's just made me a lot more aware of what I'm doing and what I'm eating. It's also taught me to eat live or eat to live, not live to eat. And that was kind of how I saw things before, you know? And I would never make excuses for eating meat, but like I craved it and then I got hungry again later. You know, and I will say this, one of the easy transitions for me was that other than fast food, before I went to being a vegetarian, if you want to do it as a transition, I was pretty much only eating chicken for like the last year or two before that. Like that was the only thing. And it really wasn't hard for me to give up chicken at that time because I just didn't miss it, you know? I have not eaten any fast food except for going to Steak and Shake one time and I had onion rings. I have not eaten in a grilled cheese sandwich. I haven't had any fast food in 60 days, and that has been really helpful. You can't go to fast food and eat vegetarian unless you get French fries or like a veggie burger from like, you know, McDonald's, and who cares about all that anyway? I don't. So, and a lot of McDonald's don't have vegetarian versions. A lot of Burger Kings don't, but some do. I think there's a lot of tricks. One of my things I would do is I would watch a lot of other vegetarian, you know, vloggers out there, YouTubers out there. For me, it's been helpful not watching the ones that have been around for 10 years, but watching the ones that are newer, that are going through the same process that I am, because I relate to their videos. And there's so many. If you just put vegetarian, like vlog or vegetarian journey into YouTube, you'll come up with a lot of them. So I wish you well on your journey. I wish you all the best. I wouldn't not try it at this point. I feel fantastic. I feel much better. I'm moving freer. I just feel so much better on a daily basis. You know, for me, it's hard because I don't know if it's from the weight loss, if it's from the water intake, or if it's from being a vegetarian. But all three of those together have really made a difference in my life. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.